All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, man, there's some drama out there with Terence Crawford and boxing fans again. And once again, Terence Crawford out here cussing out people like he cussed me out. But in this particular instance, I'm gonna tell you, man, I think he's right. And in a way, I think he was right about cussing me out too. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're gonna be in the 154-pound division where Terence Crawford, I am told, and then I went and did my research because you better believe I don't pay attention to a lot of this stuff, but I did this time because my name was dragged into it. And somebody said, hey, Fanon, I appreciate you pointing out all the BS Terence Crawford is doing. Thank you. And hey, did you see what, and I'm not going to name the YouTuber, but you know, good YouTuber, very good channel. Y'all should know who he is. He got into it with Terence Crawford. Hey, thanks, man, for standing with it and, you know, showing us what Terence Crawford is doing wrong. General discussion that I had. So I responded and I was like, nah, I'm not supporting that. Number one, Terence Crawford had every right to tell me what he told me. Who's never been mad about Terence Crawford for saying what Terence Crawford said to me. If you want to know what Terence Crawford said to me, it's very insulting. It was about my mother. It was sexual acts and how I should have never been born, right? Because I had an opinion that he didn't like. Now, I didn't really like the treatment that I got from him, but, you know, I'm a grown man. So in the back of my head, I think to myself, how do you respond to somebody that, you know, who's quite honestly your business, whose business you're in? How would you respond if you're making a comment about somebody else's business and then they ask you about talking about their business? Oh, I would say, well, hey, man, from your perspective, hey, man, God bless you. Well, because first, you know, I understand that, you know, he's not going to agree with me. And this is not a conversation that I'm having that is to his benefit because I don't think he handled that in a way that I think most people in that scenario should have handled it. I don't like it. I thought it was very much focused on himself alone, and to the detriment of other people. But whatever, that's just my opinion. I'm a YouTube channel, and I'm not a journalist. I'm just somebody talking. So when he says he overhears it and he comes and says something to me, okay, no worries, man. God bless you. And then I keep myself in the stands and he gets back in the boxing ring and forever the two shall remain separate. I didn't have an issue with it, really. I really didn't. So therefore, when people tell me that there's a case being made that Terence Crawford does not deserve a fight with Canelo Alvarez, and then people co-sign and ask me and tell me that this is something somehow that I believe. Well, no, it's not something that I believe. The idea, and this is no disrespect to anybody, truly it's not. It's all boxing conversations. But if people bring up my name into it and associate me with it, then I'm going to say, I don't believe, man, it's no doubt in my mind Terence Crawford deserves a fight with Canelo. I mean, I sat up and I thought to myself without listening to anybody's argument, how could you possibly make an argument that Terence Crawford doesn't, and here's the operative word, deserve a fight with with Canelo Alvarez? So what does a boxer do to deserve something? Right? What do I do to deserve something? And it's like, well, that's a funny word, deserve. It's a really funny word, deserve. How about we look at whether or not he qualifies for the fight? Whether or not he's achieved the things necessary to realistically call for the fight and to be taken seriously as a competitor for Canelo Alvarez. So I have to change the word deserve into something that really works for the scenario. Because I could say deserve. Deserve is subjective, right? Hey, man, I've done everything to get your respect. I deserve your respect. No, you haven't. Yeah, I think I could have a different standard for deserve than you have, right? So you really can't say deserve. Let's talk about something we can both argue about and look at. What about the accomplishments? What has he done on a piece of paper that would tell you that this person is somebody that could fight Canelo? Well, what is Canelo? Canelo is a world-class fighter, future Hall of Famer, right? Top pound-for-pound fighter for decades, multi-divisional champion, former undisputed champion. Who could deserve to fight somebody like that? Who would you put, but not deserve, who would you put in the ring with somebody like that? Well, how about another Hall of Famer? How about a two-time undisputed champion? How about an undefeated fighter? How about a 3-division champion? How about a future Hall of Famer? How about somebody that is big and been in big fights, been under the lights? How about somebody that is known as wanting to be in the number 1 fighter in the world by many people? How about him? How about somebody roughly the same height? How about somebody roughly the same length? How about somebody that's a contemporary of his? What do you mean? Of course he qualifies for that fight. If we take the word deserve out, which is ridiculously subjective, and we put something that is objective in there so we can both be looking at the same thing. Of course, he's qualified for that fight. Highly qualified for that. And matter of fact, I don't think that there is 3 people in boxing that are more qualified than that. You may say David Benavidez is qualified because he's in the weight division. He's a former champion in that division. He's fought at 168 pounds. He's a 2-time world champion in that weight class, having held the WBC belt twice. He also qualifies. Also, same answer may come from Canelo, no, to Benavidez. And Canelo has the right to say no to Crawford too. See, Canelo deserves to be able to fight. He qualifies as somebody that can fight either guy. I don't have a problem with that. But the idea that Terence Crawford does not qualify, because I can't use deserve, because that's just subjective. What do you mean, deserve? Does anybody deserve it? Like, how can you deserve to fight Canelo? Canelo be like, man, what do you mean you deserve it? I don't think you deserve it. You're going to deserve it if I actually fight you. That's when we get in deserve. You deserve it if I sign that contract. Then you deserve to get in that ring after that. Before that, you only qualify, and I'm going to decide whether or not I fight you, whether or not you're a qualified opponent or not. And Terence Crawford is highly, highly, highly qualified. The only 2 people that people could say are more qualified for a Canelo fight may be the people in that division named David Benavidez and David Morrell. That's it. Anything above 175, Terence Crawford could get in there just like Bivol did. Because what did Bivol do to deserve it? He had a couple title defenses at the weight class above. Terence Crawford, Bivol wasn't even in the same weight class as as Canelo. So anyway, I just wanted to say that because I do not want to be bucketed in with discussions about Terence Crawford not deserving a fight with Canelo. I want to see the Canelo Alvarez fight. Terence Crawford has done more than enough to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. More than enough. When I'm looking at whether or not the fight happens or not, please don't get twisted what I'm saying. It's not a question of whether he deserves it or he qualifies. It's the question of whether or not Canelo Alvarez is going to give it to him. And whether or not Terence Crawford is taking the right tact to get the fight with Canelo. See, those are in my bailiwick of negotiations, contracts, those type of things I understand. So I'll talk about that. But I'll be doggone if I ever say somebody that is that accomplished doesn't deserve something, bro. Now, I may say, hey, man, you go up there trying to fight, what's my guy's name? Martin Bacoli. If you're trying to fight Martin Bacoli, Terence, yeah, you deserve the fight. But if you make that decision to do it, you're also going to deserve that nasty ass whooping you're going to get for doing it. Okay, you're going to deserve that too if you go to heavyweight. But all in all, hey man, I hope Terence Crawford gets his fight. And I hope he goes, and I hope, and I'm telling you, I will root for Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez. Without a doubt, I will. Without a doubt. Because he's an American. And we're from the Midwest. He's from same general area. I don't have to like the dude personally, and he doesn't have to like me. But man, I just, people carry stuff so far, man. Carry stuff so far. Terence Crawford, but Terence at the same time, bro. Stay out of the stands, bro. Just stay out of the stands. People ain't watching like you think they watching. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.